Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of my FM21 Save with Ajax. We are here for the two things. One is the youth intake that has happened, so let's firstly focus on that. These are the players that didn't make it. We have signed up, I think, 5 players. Let's just quickly take a look at them. If I can find it that easily. That is, of course, always the question. Oh wait, they're the only ones with new gen faces. Of course I can find them easily. This is the first one. It is Maarten van Aaken, a striker, 16-year-old, 1m83, 14 determination. His other attributes aren't that promising, but he does have tons of potential. Personality not that great either. So he does have some things going for him, but he does have a couple of things going against him as well. So I have to wait and see what he's going to do in the future. I mean, 15 finishing, 18 bravery, 16 flair, 16 technique are some really good attributes, but 7 work rate and 17 work, 4 strength really worry me a lot. So as I said, it's going to be, it could be good, but it could be bad as well. So that's the first one. Moving on to the next one is Jan Wevers, center mid, center attacking mid. Also a lot of potential, only 10 determination. He is fairly professional though, 1m89 as well, which is pretty good. 11 teamwork, 16 work rate. The same goes for him. A couple of good attributes, a couple of bad ones that could really hinder his progress, his development. He is from Curacao as well, which I find really cool. I always like it when I get youth players that are not originally from this country. I also had one player from Burkina Faso and 2 Italians, I think, so that's pretty cool. The third one is Alessio Castin. He might be semi-Italian, is he? Or am I just... No, he's not. He's completely Dutch, alright? So the name doesn't sound pretty Dutch, but Alessio Castin, 16-year-old defender, only 183, which is not tall enough for my liking for a center back, but he could be really good, and if he's really good, the height doesn't make that much difference. I mean, if he can stop everybody going through, then his height doesn't really matter, right? So that's the third one, a center back. So we got a couple of different positions as well, which is good. So you have your youth players spread out, which is always a good thing. And here are the other two. Abdullah Sanu, that is the guy from Burkina Faso, another attacking mid. He is pretty tiny. I mean, 174 isn't that tiny, but for what I'd like my players to be, it is smaller than what my average is. He is fickle. Not pretty sure what that is, but it doesn't sound too positive. Other than that, his attributes do look pretty good. 12 determination, 14 flair, 13 teamwork, and 15 work rate, 15 technique as well are all pretty promising. So another promising player. Hopefully he'll make good on that potential. And moving on to the last one. Look at this name, by the way, Abdurrahman Benyaya. I mean, an amazing name, but he didn't make the team. This guy did with another amazing name, Obi van Maarschalkerweerd. The most Dutch name you will find out there, I think. He is now pretty bad. Yes, as you can see, his attributes aren't that good either. But he is fairly professional as well. 13 determination, 15 teamwork, 17 natural fitness. And he's defensive mid, only 174, so that could hinder him as well. By the way, the last 2 players, my head of youth development signed up. He thought they were good enough as well. I only signed the first 3. But yeah, we'll see how they do in training, how they will progress over the next seasons. As you can see, they are first in the Dutch under-19 Eredivisie. They also managed to reach the quarterfinals of the under-19s Champions League. They actually knocked out AZ under-19 in the round before, but they lost to Lazio. I think it was 2-1. So disappointing they didn't make it any further, but a good job nonetheless. Speaking of which, speaking of AZ, last time out I left you guys after the match against Olympiacos for the semi-final against AZ of the Dutch Cup. We beat them 1-0, a goal by João Pedro in I think the 87th minute. He got subbed on and he scored immediately after as well. So we're through to the final. We're playing FC Utrecht right after the game against Sporting. So that's a very tough week. It's going to be very tough. Sporting Utrecht, which is pretty fun. Didn't even notice that until now. So yeah, we'll do these two in this episode and then do the final in the next episode. One entire episode for that match only. And we beat Heracles 2-0 at home as well. We lost Promes. Tadic got injured. Alvarez got injured. So I think we're back to 4 injured players. Maybe I think Tadic is back by now. Hopefully. But yeah, we beat Heracles Almelo 2-0. We're still in first. AZ lost their first league game against FC Groningen 1-0 away from home. Always very sad when you lose your 27th game of the league and that's your first loss. But it's a good thing for us. We're 3 points ahead of them now and also our goal difference is much better. So that should put us in a very good position for the rest of the season. There are 7 matches remaining for AZ and us. So let's hope we can hold on to that lead and also the Dutch Cup final. So maybe we can do the double and maybe even dream of the treble if we get to the Europa League final as well. But that's very far ahead of in the future. We're in the quarterfinals right now in the first leg. So let's take a look at the starting 11. There they are, the 11 legends that are going to play for us. Onana, Kleiber, Ta, Martinez, Tagliafico, Klaassen, Blind, Neres, Kudus, Tadic and Milik. So Tadic is back as you can see. But Hisai, why is Hisai starting on the bench? No, he's not. Hisai is going to play instead of Kleiber at right back, of course. Oh, oops. And Tagliafico is going to play ahead of Grimaldo. Grimaldo playing a lot of games as of late, but I would like to give Tagliafico another chance because he's a very good player as well. So let's get straight into the match. The quarterfinal of the Europa League in the first season. I mean, this is already the best I've ever done in a first season of a new game. When it comes to my history on FM, normally I would get knocked out of the group stages and end up in 4th place and not get to any knockout rounds. And Dutch Cups aren't my thing either. And if you've watched my FC Rapid series of FM20, you know that the Romanian Cup isn't really my thing either. So maybe domestic cups just aren't my cup of tea if you put it like that. But let's see what we can do against Sporting Lisbon this time out. Let's hope for the win. And there we are. There is the match. It's gonna start right there. Let's not skip it this time. Oh well, it wasn't even that long. But there we go. The match has started. Not a shot yet after 5 minutes. I think it's gonna be a very, very tough game. A very not want to say boring game, but a very tight game. That's what I was looking for. I think it's gonna be a very tight game. Both defenses are very good in this season's Europa League. Neres with a chance here. Milik, but his shot is blocked in the 13th minute. A good chance for us, but sadly his shot was blocked, as I said. Martinez still has the ball though. Switches it to the right side to Hisai. Can he do something with it? Tries to go past his opponent. He puts in the ball to the middle. Kudus. And there's the first goal. Dusan Tadic in the 14th minute. Only 1 minute after the first chance. We get the second chance and we get the away goal against Sporting in the 14th minute. That's so important. And they already have a yellow card as well. A great start by us. And if this is something to go by for the rest of this leg and the second leg against them as well, it's going to be a very, very fun to watch as well. But don't want to get ahead of myself too much. Blind now with the ball to Milik. But it gets headed away, and now Sporting can counter here. Sporar on the left side goes past his defender, and Onana with the save. Onana pulls out a huge save like he did so many times in real life for Ajax as well, saving us here in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. And there is another highlight here. Tagliafico with a throw into Kudus. Back to Tagliafico. I don't like a highlight starting with the ball so close to our goal, but maybe we can build up something from it. Milik loses the ball. He can't get to it, but we intercept their long ball forward. Neres now with the ball, dribbling towards the middle of the field. Milik to Kudus. Good play in Neres, but he plays it back to Klaassen. Klaassen switches the play to Tagliafico. Tagliafico on the left side could put it across. And he goes past one opponent, puts in the cross. Neres heads it just over the bar. And they get a big chance, and I almost kind of missed that. They get a big chance just before halftime, but they miss it. Luckily, 1-0 at the break. As you can see, their XG is higher than ours actually, but, you know, we're leading, so I don't really give a shit about that. You've played well, but there is still room for improvement, and let's start the second half with that. Let's hope we can hold on to the lead in the second half. As I said, I thought it was going to be a very tight game, and it turns out that it is going to be a very tight game. Well, actually, if you look at the stats, Sporting are pretty much dominating us completely, and we've had 1 shot on target and 1 goal. So let's fire up the players, because I don't want them to score from the chances that they get. They get a throw in here. Ristovski, the man on the yellow, throws it to Mario. Mario goes past one opponent. There's Tabata with Onana with another save. And it was offside as well. Let's pause the game for a second here, because a couple of players are getting really tired. Let's sub Hisai off for Kleiber. What else why are there so many youth players on the bench? They're not useful right now, okay? Maybe if we were up by 3 or 4 goals, but not if it's only 1-0. Let's get Anthony on there and João Pedro as well. There's our 3 subs for now after 72 minutes. Let's hope that we can hold on for the final 20, but they get a corner kick here, and it's headed into the goal. Fedel, the defender, Zuhair Fedel with the equalizer. It's 1-1 after 74 minutes. Let's at least hold on to the draw and not lose this one. Maybe demand more from the players. Let's see if that works. Do you have 5 subs in the Europa League? I think you do, right? We do. Okay, so let's sub Kudus off as well for Kadioglu. And for the final couple of minutes, let's fire them up as well. Don't think anything is going to happen in the injury time, but you never know. And there's the full-time whistle. That's the end of the game, and that means that the second leg is going to be very important. We do have the away goal, which is pretty good. Much work to be done. Training hard tomorrow. You know what? Let's just say I'm not happy with the performance. Don't really need time to be back for training tomorrow, because we have a game in 3 days. But I'll see you guys for the second leg against Sporting in just a second. And we're back for the second leg against Sporting Lisbon. We had 1 game in between, of course, against FC Utrecht for the league. We played a little bit of a rotated side, but in the end we did manage to win it. We beat them 2-1 at home. Goals from Grimaldo and Neres. I gotta say, it was a complete accident that Grimaldo actually started the game. Normally I wouldn't play him at a center mid, but I completely missed his name. So in the beginning of the match I saw Tagliafico and Grimaldo, and I thought, that isn't right. But then he scored a worldie, and I thought, well, maybe I should play him there more often, and actually won us the game as well. So I'm not gonna complain. It was kind of a mistake from me, but it gave us the 3 points in the end, which of course are so very important in this stage of the league. As you can see, we are still in first. We are still 3 points ahead of AZ. They did win their last game as well. They beat Venlo 2-0, 2 goals by Bodo in the final 10 minutes. Also, PSV beat Willem II, so they have overtaken them to the 3rd spot. I think they play each other another time. They play us. PSV play us in the final game of the season. Who was it then? Was it Willem II against AZ another time, maybe? Yeah, it is. The penultimate game is Willem II versus AZ in Tilburg, so it's going to be a very good game. Maybe the league decider even. But that's, again, getting ahead of myself, what I'm so good at. Firstly, let's get into the game against Sporting Lisbon. This is going to be the team: Onana, Hisai, Ta, Martinez, Tagliafico, Klaassen, Blind, Neres, Kudus, Tadic, and Milik. 11 names that you have become so familiar with over the past season. At least I hope so. And 11 names that I'm confident in that they can do the job today against Sporting Lisbon in Amsterdam. So it's our own home. We have the away goal. I checked a second ago, and Arsenal-Lazio ended 2-2 in the first leg, so they have they drew as well. But Arsenal do have 2 away goals, so that's in their favor in that match. So probably gonna be Arsenal if we go through to the next round. But again, getting ahead of myself, first we have to get through to the next round and we have to beat Sporting Lisbon first. And we're gonna try our best. Here's the beginning of the match. Here we go. I'm so excited. Could be a semi-final of the Europa League in the first season already. Here's the first highlight. He's side with the throw-in, but he throws it almost straight to the opposition. But Neres takes the ball off of him, plays it to Milik, to Kudus with a through ball to Hisai, but nobody in front of the goal here. Hisai has to do it himself, plays it back to Neres, to Kudus, switches to Blind, Milik! And there it is, 1-0 after 6.5 minutes. Arkadiusz Milik puts us in front against Sporting Lisbon. And that's the goal that we were looking for at the beginning of the match. He scored in the first leg as well, but that goal was disallowed. This time it's not going to be disallowed. We're in front, and hopefully we'll keep a hold of that lead. We have the ball now. Klaassen has it on the halfway line. Switches the play to Neres. A beautiful pass. Neres could put it in front of the goal. He tries, but his cross gets blocked, and they kick it long, and Tap picks it up and plays it straight back forward. Kudus now turns around, switches the play to the left side. Well, I say he switches the play, he just runs to it. Tagliafico now with the ball, puts in a cross, a good cross to Blind, and oh, what a good shot, but it's just wide of the goal. And it's still 1-0 after 15 minutes, but it's a great start by us, a much better start than in the first leg. And now Sporting can take a breather here. Adan, the goalkeeper, with the ball, rolls it to Vettel, the goal scorer of the first leg, but he makes a big mistake. We can. Kudus takes advantage, but it's offside. Oh no. Vettel made the huge mistake. We intercepted his pass and actually scored from it, but it is offside. It is still 1-0. Could have been much better if it was 2-0. And no, that's an injury for Kudus. That's not what we wanted. Let's put Gravenberch in there, of course. Normally Tadic would play it as attacking mid-center, but a couple of games ago, Gravenberch started there and he scored 2 goals, one of which was a beautiful free kick from about 30 yards out. Gravenberch now with the ball to his side. Neres, there is the 2-0. Is it going to be disallowed again? Doesn't look like it is. And it is 2-0 in the 24th minute, And we're leading by two goals right now after half an hour played. Gravenberch with the pre-assist, Hisai with the assist. Right after Kudus got injured, I hope it's not too bad of an injury. If it's anything like it is in real life, then he could be out for months. Let's not hope it is. And another chance, but Gravenberch is offside this time, so it's still 2-0, and it wasn't even close to the goal either, by the way. But it was offside in the end. Gravenberch now with the ball again. A lot of plays going through him, so that's good that he is being implemented into our attack. And there is the 3-0. My words weren't coming out pretty fluently, but we score a third. Dusan Tadic, the goal scorer of the first leg, scores again, and it's pretty much, let me just wait a second, there it is, the halftime whistle, and it's 3-0 at the break. Let's look at the latest scores. Arsenal are leading 2-0 as well, so it is going to be Arsenal in the semi-finals of the Europa League. I didn't expect us to get this far at the beginning of the season. Of course, looking at the players and looking at the teams we've faced, we should be getting this far, but I know myself. I know that I'm very bad at the game, even though it is a new game. I'm just pretty much bad every year. Gravenberch with the 4-0 against Sporting, but as I was saying, I'm pretty much bad at every single game that comes out from Football Manager. So I didn't expect to get this far in the Europa League, but I'm so happy that we do. I mean, the match isn't over yet. They can still score 4 goals. David Neres now to Milik, Tadic, and it's 5-0 after 50 minutes. Dusan Tadic again. It is an insane game after the first leg. I expected the first leg to go a little bit easier than a 1-1 draw. And they actually dominated us. Can Gravenberch do it again, by the way? A free kick, same distance. Gravenberch, there is 6. A beautiful free kick again, in off the bar. Oh my god, the substitute scoring his second goal of the game, 6-0. As I was saying, I expected the first leg to go a little bit easier. It didn't, but this result I did not expect at all. Like, not even close. I am going to make a couple of substitutions after this highlight, I think. But 6-0 already doesn't even matter who we stop. 7-0. Daley Blind for his first goal of the season in a 7-0 lead against Sporting in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. You know what? Do we have a few youngsters on the bench? We do. Let's get Sontje Hansen on there for Tadic. Do we have Brobbey on the bench? We do as well. Victor Jensen, put him on there. You know, they're not going to score 7. Watch us lose this game still. No, they're not going to score 7. This is a win for us. We're into the semi-finals. Can we score another one? It would be insane. Tau with the throw into Klaassen. Klaassen turns around, plays it to Hisai. Hisai tries to go for it, but it's blocked. And now they can counter. Would be sad if we conceded a goal here. And we do. Cabral with his 7th goal of the season. Onana could maybe have done better with that. But he was 1-on-1. So always tough to save those. Still 7-1 is a pretty good result, right? I mean, when you sub on so many youngsters, it is always a risk that you're taking. And I knew that going in, making those subs. But, 7 goals ahead. I want to give these youngsters some experience. Could be a second there, but it's over the goal. Let's not concede too many goals. Let's fire them up one last time. Jonathan Tah with a throw-in. Kicked away by Sporting. And Nunes has it. Plays it to Mario in a lot of space. I haven't gone more attacking, and Cabral with his 2nd of the night, I haven't gone more attacking, but they have scored 2 goals, and both of the goals have come from a lot, and I mean a lot of space behind our defenders, so that might be something to look at after the game, how that was possible that they still scored 2. Tagliafico now with the throw-in. Klaassen, can we add number 8? Klaassen switches it back to Tagliafico. Tagliafico now back to Klaassen again, to Blind, to Gravenberg. Can Gravenberg go for a third? He can't because he messes up the pass. We still have the ball here. Sontje Hansen to Blind, to Klaassen, to Gravenberg again. Switches the play to Hisai with a lot of space. Hisai goes past one opponent and it is a penalty. Surely that's a penalty and that should be number 8. Let's see if we are maybe fast enough to give the penalty to one of the youngsters. Otherwise Klaas is probably going to take it. But hopefully we're fast enough to switch the penalty taker. Or was it outside of the box? It is a penalty. Let's see. Can we somewhere... There it is. Ryan Gravenberg will take the penalty. He has already scored 2. Will we give Gravenberg his hat-trick? Tough decision. Will we give it to Onana? Could also be done. What are we gonna do? Give Gravenberg his hat-trick, or you know what, let's put it to Brobbey. I know Gravenberg would love to get his hat-trick, but Brian Brobbey is probably not going to get this chance again this season. And why is Gravenberg still taking it? Oh well, he got his hat-trick. Ryan Gravenberg off the bench, a hat-trick in the Europa League quarterfinals, 8-2 against Sporting. I hate that we still conceded 2, but an 8-2 win in the quarterfinals, like what? As you can see, an achievement unlocked as well for winning by more than 5 goals. Let's skip those. And yeah, what just happened? Arsenal beat Lazio 4-3 on aggregate. So we're meeting Arsenal in the semi-final. 8-2, that's insane. Let's just keep it short and sweet. As I said at the beginning of the episode, next episode is going to be an episode fully dedicated to the Dutch Cup final against FC Utrecht in a couple of days' time. And then after that, of course, the semi-final against Arsenal. It's going to be a very, very interesting couple of episodes. Let's see, we could win 3 trophies, but we could still also win 0. So you never know. Let's just give it our all for those final, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 or 10 games depending on the result of the semifinals. Let's give it our all in those final 10 games. And just see where it gets us. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it just as much as I did, please leave a like and subscribe as well if you're new around here. And I'll see you guys for the next episode very soon. Bye bye.